happening? What's happening? Hey, look here. Colorado finally finished. If we keep doing that, it's a wrap. We could do what my business partner said. Hey, Mike Figure said, Simo, they can win all the games. Rest of the season, they can win all the games. I looked at it, I was like, boy, they got to come with it. Well, they got one down. And I'm always go back to this. TCU, Georgia Tech, BYU should have been our game. Those, hold up, let me see. Maybe even more than that. I think that was it. Them three is the three that I think we should have had. Let me just dive back and look. BYU, yep. TCU, Georgia Tech, possibly Houston. Possibly. But, hey, we got to win. We got a win. That's what you want. In September, we was 2-2. In August, we was 0-1. Right now, in October, we 1-1. Can we finish 2-1 in October versus Utah? Now, y'all know we on a bye week. We on a bye week in Colorado, so they going to have to come with it off that bye week if they are trying to keep this thing going. Now, that's where that, hey, all I need them to do is continue finishing, and we got this. We pretty much got a solid team. We just got to finish. Now, my next thing is you got Willie. Listen, college football and NFL, I don't know when they decided to do this. They might have been doing it for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, but I really focused on it last year. Well, the last 3 years I done kind of, and this made year 3. Excuse me. I'm focusing on it. I see that once we hit a certain day in October, from October to like the first weekend of December, it's about 55 days or 56 days of football. And it's like that every year. So that's what span we in now, where it's football 7 days a week. It is football 7 days a week. And right now, you got Willie Simmons. Y'all know that's my boy. He got front and center Tuesday night this week, Tuesday night next week, and Wednesday night after that. He got the whole world. He got the whole world watching. So can Willie Simmons beat Western Kentucky? They are a good team. FIU, they have the same thing they need to do. They got to finish. And if they finish and play a complete game without the interceptions, without the fumbles, play a clean game, defense, come with it, special teams, make the plays and don't give them up, Willie Simmons got something. But we going to see tomorrow. He got West Kentucky, and they are not no cupcake. They can come with it on offense, defense, and special teams. And they like to throw that ball. And then you got that Penn State job, y'all. It's Penn State job. Who is the right coach for this job? Because you fired a man who won 11 games, 10 games, 13 games in a 3-year span. That's his record. Who you going to get that? Now, I saw a name, and I'm saying, now, if they go do that, they trash. I don't care what they trying to do. They go do that, man, look, they don't want to win. If I ain't knocking nobody from getting no job, but if they decide that they're going to get Matt Rule for the Penn State job, they don't want to win. I'm telling y'all now, if they get Matt Rule for the Penn State job, they do not want to win. Point blank, period. They don't want to win at all because I don't see Matt Rule building them up. I know Matt Rule had the reputation of being that guy to rebuild something, but this ain't no rebuild. They solid. They just had a 3-game slide, and then somebody panicked and got my boy up out of it. Maybe they didn't want James Franklin in there from the jump, but they better not try to get no Matt Rule. Now, the number one coach I would look at if I was them, because they in the Midwest, I'm looking at the coach at Indiana. Indiana coach would get my attention, and that would be it. It wouldn't be nobody else, because ain't nobody else can make that job pop. That man can make it pop. He's doing more with less. So, yeah, he could get the job. He could get the job with no problem. I ain't studying that. I get him the job. But if they give it to Matt Rule, they don't want to win. But, hey, let's jump on this Coach Prime. So, you got Coach Prime. His squad finally finished this past weekend, and they needed this win. And going into halftime, I ain't know how it was going to go. Going into halftime, I ain't know how it was going to go. Coming out of halftime, Colorado put on a show. I'm talking about them boys put on a show, and they finally finished. They missed 3 opportunities to finish, and I could even say 4. They really missed 4 opportunities to finish. 3 for sure. Can they continue finishing the rest of this season? Can they finish? Can they beat a Utah? Because Utah ain't finna lay down. Now, Utah got a big boy game this weekend. They play BYU. So, Utah got a big game. They play BYU. But is Utah like that this year? I'm finna take a peek at them right now. Because that's a big game for Utah and BYU. And it's going to be lit. Last year, I love how it looked. All right. Utah right now is 5-1. The only game they lost was to Texas Tech. Only game they lost is to Texas Tech. They beat West Virginia, which not that good. They put a thumping on Arizona State. Now that, I ain't see that coming. They beat UCLA, but that was when UCLA had that coach, Coach Foster. I don't know how UCLA balling so hard right now. And another thing, y'all, side note, because I'm talking about UCLA. UCLA, they are who the media, not this media, but media are out there putting the coach, the offensive coordinator, and giving him all the love. I don't know if that's where they trying to go with this UCLA job, but they ain't giving the head man who really got the inner head coach. I ain't seen a picture of him yet. Now, that's pretty disrespectful, but, hey, you know, the media get to do whatever they want to do. They can post whoever they want to post. What you going to tell them stop? It's their company, so I get it. And they played Wyoming. They beat them. So we got a common opponent in Wyoming, and everybody else we ain't play. So our common opponent is Wyoming, but they rolling. We finna see what they do versus BYU, which when they play BYU, that game will take a lot out of them. They gonna come with a whole lot of emotional baggage for that game. So we may be catching Utah at the right exact time because they might have an emotional hangover playing BYU at, and it's a night game. It'll be 8 o'clock on East Coast, so it'll be 6 o'clock for them. And then the game ain't probably going to end till about 9:30, 10. Yeah. It's going to play an effect on them, man. So hopefully that roll calling our way. Then we got them, and they decide to give us, instead of giving us we got to go to Utah and play them at 10:15 at night. Man, get that mess out of here, man. ESPN, stop doing that. Miss Beverly, what's good? Play for Keys. You said, Colin, you think Penn State going to try Coach Prime? Nah. Well, I ain't going to take Coach Prime off the list. They could go for Coach Prime, but I doubt it. Coach Prime probably if anybody, somebody in the league or the South need to come for him. Not that Midwest. I don't think he'll go to Midwest. Nah, if Ohio State would call, that'd be a different ball game. But you know, you gotta be doing your thing to get Ohio State. I just don't want for Penn State to get Matt Rule. I don't see Matt Rule being that guy. He just not it to me. Let me see what Matt Rule doing. I don't see Matt Rule being that guy. And if Penn State decide to go that route, to me, it's like they want to lose. Because Matt Rule, he ain't really did nothing since he been there. Now, I know you can say he had a freshman quarterback last year, and now the quarterback is a sophomore, so you could try to give him that leeway. But, man, well, Notre Dame is ranked. I mean, Nebraska. Hey, my bad. Matt Rule is 5-1 right now. They 5-1. Now, is Michigan State like that? Probably not. Is Maryland like that? They got a freshman quarterback. Cincinnati playing ball. They did beat them. Akron garbage. Houston Baptist Christian ain't about nothing. And Michigan. So its only ranked team is Michigan, and they lost by 3. So I guess Matt Rule doing all right. Let me see. Minnesota, he might win that game Friday. Then Northwestern, they haven't set a date for that. Well, they got a date. They didn't just put the time on it. Northwestern, he should beat. USC is a big boy game. UCLA, you don't know how that's going to go now with how they rolling. Penn State is a big. Well, matter of fact, he get to go to Penn State. That's going to be a deciding factor. Can he beat Penn State with Nebraska? But he possibly can because they ain't got no head coach. James Franklin, you got the wrong end of that deal, brother. Dog, they did you wrong. Fresh out. Play for keys. I'm like that too, man. I feel bad for Coach Franklin. Yeah, I know he got 49 or 48 or 50 mil, but he wasn't supposed to get kicked out of there. I hope he can get to a situation where he get to a university and he dominate and win a chip. That's what I want him to do, but I don't know how that's going to go. MJ, what's good? It's Hudson. You say you don't watch HBCU, but you really need to go watch Jackson State Homecoming. It was a great game. Well, my business partner loved it. I was going to watch the game on some of it, but they had FAMU on versus North Carolina Central, and I ain't want to watch that. It ain't the same without Willie Simmons. I've been keeping up with HBCU because of my business partner. I know them at Alabama State gave a good game. He wanted to win. He wanted to win that game back because he went to Alabama State. But, yeah, both them quarterbacks top notch, though. Fresh, how you say, boy, they needed that win. Colorado needed it with goodness. Derek, you say, what about Coach Prime getting Penn State? I don't think they'll go. I don't think they'll do that. I think now it's worth for opportunity with them kicking the ties because he has changed Colorado from nothing to something. So you could look at that, but Coach Prime needed them wins. If he was 5-1 or 6-0, yeah, his name would be popping. But the fact that he lost like 4 games, it's gonna be hard for them to try to justify that. So you gonna have to look at a Nebraska Matt Rule, which I don't like Matt Rule to go there. I really don't. He is changing the program, but you got to see how he finish. Can Matt Rule finish with a good record? Because they might not. Because I think that first year, he ain't had no good record. So let me see. Let's look at last year. What did he do last year? Because 23, he first got there, so we ain't going to count that. All right, last year he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7. He won 7 games. Well, hey, he is turning it around. He is turning it around. I still just don't see Matt Rule as that guy like that. And the first year he won 5. The next year he won 7. And this year he rolling so far. So we'll see. We'll see what he do this Friday versus Minnesota. I guess I'm going to have to tune in for it to see what he going to do. And then he got Northwestern next week at home. They should get that game. Got USC November the 1st at USC. No, USC come to him. Yeah, USC come to him. Yeah, hey, I want to see it. T.O., you said Coach Prime should stay at CU and complete the vision. He's, from everything that's keep coming out about him, it looked like he will stay. Yeah, it looked like he will stay. They just got to get the money to bring all the dogs in. Because best believe them dogs, SEC and Big Ten going to have control of this thing. I know Texas Tech rolling, but Texas Tech put up that cash. So you got to have somebody put that cash up. Fresh out. No, I didn't get to see it all the way. I saw bits and pieces. I'm going to go look at the highlight of that Indiana and Oregon game. Hey, Selmo, what's happening? Yeah, Ohio State, they rolling. That's a playoff team. That's a hands down playoff team. Sam, you said, could James Franklin get the Florida job? Well, it ain't open yet. And if Florida could somehow figure out how to win, they might be good, but I know that Texas A&M whipping. See, you got really Mike Norvell job could come open and Florida job. D, you say, what about that coach that worked at LSU? He came out of retirement. I forgot his name. Coach O. Coach O can't go up there. Coach O, a South coach. PSJ, what's good? Yeah, Coach O in the South. Ed, you said Coach Prime will retire buff due to his health. I think he got a sweet situation in Colorado. He the man there. He is absolutely the man. At Penn State, you see what they'll do to you. You better come win ASAP. And anywhere else, probably going to be like that. At Colorado, he's winning, even though he took a 3-game hit out of the 4 losses. It still was there. They just couldn't finish. Yeah, you right. That's pretty much his spot. Malik, you say you think Coach Prime staying at? I do. I don't see him going Midwest. I don't see him wanting to be in Pennsylvania. He a Florida boy like me. Like, he took Colorado over South Florida, and that was big. But let's say that was more so because, let's say they had the on-campus stadium, you get more cash, and your son playing in the Power 4. If South Florida would have been in the Power 4, I think he'd have been in South Florida, hands down. That's a Florida boy, man. It's hard to pass up the state of Florida, but he passed us up. So something about Colorado he really loved. I'm pretty sure the cash and everything right there. Versus at South Florida, you got a whole. He would have packed the stands out, but if you ain't come to South Florida because they was a group of 5 school, Penn State ain't gonna make you move because, yeah, Penn State above Colorado and in the Big Ten, but I doubt he'll make that move. That's a Florida boy. We ain't trying to hit that South like that. I mean that Midwest. Even though he's still, I guess he is in the Midwest, really, but Mountain West. PSJ, you say Coach Prime doing what he loves. Yeah, he getting it in. Malik, you say, what about to Florida State? Nah, I think Florida State played him. And when they played him, I don't think he really cared for that. They were probably, nah, I don't see him going. Not to Florida State. Now, you can't never say never, but I really say never on that. Well, they say never, but I don't be caring about that. I say never to that one. And Penn State would have to offer a whole lot of cash and tell him he's solid. Like, hey, you solid how you solid at Colorado, that type of solid. Because Colorado, man, them boys was nobody. And he turned them into somebody. Hey. So, yeah, it's going to be hard to get over that. T-Wade, what's good, KD? Said PSJ, you say Coach Prime has to put some more boys in the NFL before he go anywhere. Yeah, you would want that to happen. And he most likely, he going to continue that. I think it had to be something super duper good to get him just to want to dip. You had to get him to want to dip. It had to be real good. Rachel, what's good? Tia, you say that locker room talk. Them boys got it right. They love Coach Prime. Yeah, they rocking with it. There, you say, what job do you think Coach Prime will leave CU for? Honestly, the way the situation going right now with his health in question, not saying it's really, really in question, but the fact that, with the blood clots and getting all these surgeries, it would be best to stay at Colorado. Penn State is a big job. If they call, you got to listen. If it's a big job in the Big Ten and the SEC, you got to listen. Now, you might not go, but you got to listen. I don't think he'll deal, but you never know what'll make somebody bust a move. I don't think he'll deal, but you never know what'll make somebody bust that move. Like, hey, deuces. They pay you enough. They tell you got enough NIL money. They tell you compete. It's on. Brandon, what's good? PSJ, you say Penn State is not going to give him the freedom like Colorado. That's what I'm saying. You never know. You never know what these teams actually say to if they want you, it ain't nothing they won't do to get you. If Penn State really wanted, but they say Penn State looking at Matt Rule and Indiana coach. So Coach Pride ain't even on their radar, at least from what it looked like. Mac, you say, I'm going to say it, he's sick because he's in Colorado. Well, you tough, boy. You tough. Let me see. But I don't think he'll lead, not with his health in question like that. Did you say I wouldn't be mad if Coach Prime went to Penn State? Honestly, they got more money-wise. Yeah, Penn State going to give you the money, the facilities. They going to give you everything. They packing the stadium out every weekend. Everywhere you go, they packing out. But with Penn State want to coach Prime, I think they really after Matt Rule and the Indiana coach. Both of them rolling right now. And I think you got to be in a rolling position. Now, some of the other schools might offer. I ain't saying Penn State will offer them. If it was offered last year when they were hot and rolling, like a Penn State, the big boy schools, hot and rolling, that's a different ballgame. When you're not hot and rolling, that change everything. You got to be hot and rolling. Right now, we ain't hot and rolling. They run AC, you say maybe USC. They'd have been, you mean UCLA? He should leave for that job too. Well, y'all try to get him up out of here. Well, they in the Big Ten. He would be in LA. I just don't think they're. Well, you know what? Everybody gonna be kicking the tires. Put it like that. Every university got an open job except for Oklahoma State, because I know he wouldn't look that way. Not that he'll look at the other ones, but they're gonna have to kick the tires if them programs want to win. Coach Prime Dame got to get his ties. Okay, look, Memphis coach got to get his ties kicked. Tulane coach got to get his ties kicked. South Florida coach got to get his ties kicked. Coach Prime, they got to check on him. Like, bro, if you can win in Colorado, you could surely win at our university. But it's going to be his health. He going to have to prove to them that he got his health straight. Lil Rico, you say, I would love to see Coach Prime have just as much as money as the other programs. If we had that real cash, not saying we don't, it just don't feel like it. Because it feel like we don't get the biggest names out every time. If we get them big boy names, it'll be on. See, True, you say only job Coach Prime should leave for is Alabama, Florida, Florida State. Well, none of them really open. And I doubt Florida will go get him. I just don't see Florida doing it. Florida State had an opportunity, but maybe Willie Taggart put a bad taste in their mouth. KD, you say, what's Deion record at Colorado? Quit talking about he can help them win. He's not winning. Well, Colorado, he should have won more games in 23, and he was taking over a franchise that was in the dump. So, and then last year he went down to 4. This year he could be 5-1 or 6-0. So, nah, you gonna put Coach Prime name in. He take Colorado and put him on the map. You never thought about Colorado. I never thought about Colorado. He is him. He can change it, and a bigger school with more money would make him that boy. I'm pretty sure they gonna kick the tires. I don't know if he'll deal. GP, you say how many number 1 picks have they gotten since he's been here? His son could have been one, and Travis Hunter ASAP and the Heisman. I don't know what kind of argument y'all trying to make, but you went from not seeing Colorado to seeing Colorado all the time. You went from watching Coach Prime at Jackson State to watching Coach Prime now. He really should be 6-0 right now, 5-1. That's on them not finishing. Now that talk would be relevant. And they could have won 10 games last year and been in that Big 12 championship game. So he doing a lot in Colorado. So a big boy school could look at that and say, hey, we want that. Dion, do you got enough help? Can you give us 3 years? 3 years? Can you give us 3? So, KD, them boys ain't even in the same area code as Coach Prime. One of Natty had yeah, that was back when nobody cared about them. They ain't did nothing in the 2000s. Nothing. Nada. Now, my boy Willie Simmons at FIU, I need him to win. Listen, I need my boy to get this win bad tomorrow. I'm talking about I need Willie Simmons to get this. I need it bad as a heartbeat. I need it bad as the air that I breathe. We need this win bad, y'all. Willie Simmons, let me see. The schedule tomorrow, because they play tomorrow night. FIU record right now is 2-3. When we played Penn State, we played them solid, but we took an L. We beat our rival, FAU. We lost to Delaware. I was there at that game. That game shouldn't have went the way it did, but it did. And then we lost to UConn. So right now, we only have 1 loss in conference play. Everything else is all conference play. Western Kentucky, Kennesaw State, Missouri State. I think we can beat Kennesaw State and Missouri State. That'll give us 4 wins. Middle Tennessee, I feel like we'll beat them. Liberty, probably beat them. Jacksonville State, they're my boys. I don't know how that one going to go. Jacksonville State trying to, play hard. Sam Houston playing hard. So West Kentucky tomorrow is a big boy game. We play them on their home turf. They are a solid team. I think they 5-1. Can we beat them? Yes. They don't have us winning this game. They got West Kentucky 80% of knocking us out the ballpark. They quarterback throwing that ball all across the yard. They do not run the ball. They do not run the ball. So we could control this game by running the ball. Now, we ain't really got our wide receivers ain't just balling like that. Our quarterback, Keon Jenkins, got to tighten up, y'all. He got 4 picks and only 2 touchdowns. That ain't looking good. He got to slow down on the interceptions, and he got to slow down on the fumbles, and then we playing ball. But West Kentucky throwing that ball all across the yard. That quarterback got 12 TDs passing. So can FIU stop the pass game? That's what it really comes down to. Can they stop the pass? If they can stop the pass, FIU can get this win. Now, Western Kentucky 3-0 in the conference. I don't know how they played so many conference games. It's a big boy game. Willie Simmons going to have to come with it. Everywhere he has been, he has finished with a winning season. He has had 6 wins or better right out the gate. FIU is, for the past 4 years, been right at the cuffs of winning, but never really won like that. So hopefully they could get the win tomorrow. It'll be a huge win. They going to have to play. Listen, they got to play a complete game on offense, complete game on defense, complete game on special teams, because special teams, they done had like 3 or 4 mess-ups in 3 or 4 games. Defense, they been without a lot of starters, so they been getting blitzed out there. And offense, they been without some starters, and the quarterback, he got to tighten up. TP, what's good? I love CC, what's happening? PSJ, you said, Colin, did you see, yeah, I seen it, that's good for him. That's real good for him. That is real good for him. He needed that. Now he just got to lock in and stay on point from that. 7-6 Sam. Eric, you say Colorado needed that win. Yes, they needed that win versus Iowa State. super bad. And that's a big boy school. Like, that's a program that's used to winning. Now, I know they're going to be hot by that interception. They're going to say, they can lean their hat on and say, well, that should have been pass interference, but we picked it, so it went no matter pass interference or not. But, hey, if I was on the other end of that, I'd have wanted pass interference too. CJ, you say this a big year for Coach Prime, first time without Shador. It is. I wish we could have finished. I wish we could have. But listen, I tell you this. Colorado in great position because with Colorado not having Coach Prime win them games, you can't really call for him like that. But if he was undefeated right now, boy, that joker name would be the hottest thing out there. T.O., you say CU lost a lot of impact players on both sides. The guys there need to trust themselves and play. Correct. Fresh out. Mike, what's good? Yeah, we need that W. We need that W bad. God, dog, we need that W bad. But you know, it is what it is. I want FIU to win tomorrow. Listen, I ain't never been excited about a Tuesday like this. I'm excited about tomorrow. I want Coach Prime. I want Willie Simmons to win. I need my boy to win. SPJ. SP, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, man. You said Coach Prime loves Colorado and his players. I want him to stay there, but would support if he moved. I'm with you on that. He does show a lot of love to Colorado. He did change that whole program, and they are on the map. It don't seem like he'll dip, but if Penn State, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Arkansas, if they got to kick the ties now. Because let's look at, you got to kick the ties. And you got to kick the ties. You just do. That's part of college football. I think he'll stay. I think Coach Prime will stay. But you never know who kicking ties on you. So when you look at it, Penn State, they could try to get him. But Penn State got Indiana coach balling, Matt Rule balling right now. They probably will go that way. And Indiana surely balling. And somebody tried to leak yesterday that although Indiana coach want to stay in Indiana and whoop everybody and show them that he could do it, Penn State is a grown man job now. So if Penn State offered him, I think he'll take it. And he hotter than Matt Rule right now. To me, he like a quarterback whisperer, like an offensive guru. That boy like an offensive guru. And that's what Penn State really been missing. That firepower offense. He would make that offense work. I think he the man for Penn State. I just don't want Matt Rule there for some reason. I don't know, man. Leave Matt Rule at Nebraska. All right. So Penn State is a job that you got to look at when they call you. They going to have the money. They really they going to be in the mix every year. Okay? They got money. They're going to be in the mix every year. That's a win. Yeah. T-Hawk, you say, now if Coach Prime came to Virginia Tech, I would have to thank CU for the memories. Virginia Tech should kick the ties. I don't know if they will, but they should kick the ties on him. I think all the big schools should. Virginia Tech, Penn State, all of them. UCLA, kick the ties. That don't mean he'll go, but the health going to be a big question. I just don't know who would take over. Well, I guess Penn State. But Penn State, I think they're going to go with Indiana coach or Matt Rule. North Carolina should fire their coach ASAP. LSU, I don't know how they still rank high. But you know who should get a lot of love? The Georgia Tech coach. It ain't technically nowhere he should really go, but he should get a lot of love. B. Jack, you say Shador keep cooking and be ready and don't go back. Correct. TC, you say, Colin, what you think about Cam and the Titans? Cam was already coming into a garbage situation, and we already knew he ain't had no O-line. Whoever get that job, can they get the offense on track with Cam Ward, and can you get him an O-line? And then we'll see what he really about. DM, you say Miss Pig ain't having that. Coach Prime got to complete the task. Well, what's complete the task? Get a chip? He going to have to come with it to get a chip in Colorado. He going to have to come with it. Like, we had to get them big boy names. We had to be duking it out with your Big Ten and SEC. He had to duke that thing out. Because even though last year we was right on the cusp of being in that Big 12, it still felt like we was just missing something. That's what it feel like this year. We just missing something. It ain't like it's complete. But I don't think he'll leave. I just know out of all the open jobs, you got Virginia Tech, UCLA, Penn State, Arkansas, Oklahoma State. I think they're the biggest schools, but I would put Penn State number 1. But I don't like how they did James Franklin after winning the 3 years that this man had, and last year he could have been in the chip. I don't like that. So maybe Indiana coach the only one that could do it because Matt Rule ain't never really been in the mix. He turned him around, but he don't never just have him balling. Matt Rule never finished. He never finishes. So yeah. Robert, you say I believe Coach Prime will stay at least as long as Lewis. You know, I used to say that too, but my business partner say, nah, bro, he could dip if he wanted to. I think he gonna stay. I can't say 100% he will because you never know. You could wake up one day, you 100% standing, you could wake up another day, you out. I think he'll stay. JB, you say we need big hogs up in the trenches. Yeah, on both sides. You get the hogs, on both sides you winning. We went and recruited a lot, but if we would have been finishing this year, y'all, I'd say be nervous about all these teams coming for him. Clinton, you said Fran Brown phone on Do Not Disturb. If he was rolling this year, his situation would be different. If he could have had the same impact that he had last year, Fran Brown name would be on the money. But he is doing a lot. Let me see what his record is. Nah, he 3-3. That ain't gonna cut it. Yeah, you beat Clemson, but you lost to Duke. You lost it. Nah, that ain't gonna cut it. You gotta kind of be rolling. You gotta be hot when everything get to cooking. He ain't hot right now. He was hot last year. And then as a brother, you really can't leave a job. As a brother, you can't leave a job that second year. Coach Prime on his 3rd year, so he could dip if need be. But Fran Brown would need to finish this full year and finish with bare minimum 8 to 9 wins. He need 8 to 9 wins. He can't have 7. 7 ain't gonna look good. He need 8 to 9 wins. Tim, you said CU has to open up their wallets if they want to. Correct. If we want to go to the top, you got to play. You got to do your thing. JB, you say, but if he goes, he'll take his best players. Yeah, but who want it? Like, really, y'all, Coach Prime, 58? He got the health issues going on. It's almost better to stay. You already paid. Like, if I leave, I got to be leaving for one thing only. It ain't money because he got money. It got to be a national championship. I got to believe I can win a national championship there. Penn State been hot, and you know Coach Prime like getting programs that, well, historically, Jackson State has been a nice program, but they was losing, all right? Penn State been winning. That ain't kind of his situation. He don't go into a winning situation. He go into a losing situation and change it. So who been losing? That's the thing. who's been losing. But hey, I'm going to holler at y'all. We done cooked that breakfast up. I think the breakfast should be done now. I don't know why I like breakfast at any time. I can eat breakfast any time of the day. But hey, I'll holler at y'all. I might come back on tonight and talk some NFL. I might. Don't quote me on it. I might. If I pop on, ride out. If I don't, hey, we'll do it again at 11:30 a.m. in the morning. But hey, blessings to y'all. Holla, holla, holla.